We got a Clarey test request on a fictional character, which I'm not against. They're kind of cool. Good evening, Mr. Clarey. How much for a Clarey test on the DC superhero Barry Allen, aka the Flash? I'm sure you know who he is. Well, yeah, I think he's my favorite guy on Justice League, the cartoon. Because he's always like hitting on girls and getting shot down. He's great. Oh, he always gets busted too. Every girl shoots him down. Hey, he keeps coming back for it. He traveled back in time to stop his mother from getting killed, which created a dystopian future, basically a butterfly effect. He was able to travel back to the past again and erase that apocalyptic timeline, aka the Flashpoint. You probably wouldn't like him since he's responsible for creating some of the alternative timelines. I don't care. It's just, the Clarey test is going to be on the character's choices on 4 narrow topics. I personally would have a beer with him, and I honestly wish that he could go back in time and wipe the slate clean on the real world timeline. Dude, it didn't happen. It's comic books. I know everyone in the internet world, in the real world, they get pissed off when you have the social justice people just making these pathetic, it's not even affirmative action. It's pity. It's like these pity comics where they just like, it's a quadriplegic, the pansexual, Latino, Antarctican, Eskimo, wheelchair bound, whatever. I'm like, really? Can you just make a good story? And then you find out no one reads comic books. And so they're going for any group of people. And because they have no ideas, they're like, you know what? You guys are so desperate and sad. You'll totally glom onto something if you make it about you. And some might. I don't know. They keep doubling down on it. But the comic book sales, it's a joke. You might. It's a lot like anime. I mean, 1 out of 100 might be good. The rest of it is shit. It's trash. And anime does that without even having to force politics into the plot. It just sucks on its own. Comic books are kind of the same way. But it's not real. Who cares? I think we're due for a hard reset. Enjoy the decline. Okay, so let's take a look. So let's take a look at the Flash, aka Barry Allen. Barry Allen. Okay, good. There's like several. The Flash, Bartholomew Henry Barry Allen, is a fictional superhero appearing in American comic books published by DC Comics. The character first appeared in Showcase number 4, October 1956. Created by writer Robert Kanigher and penciler Carmine Infantino. Dude, that's like a comic book name. Oh, it's Infantino. Oh, my arch rival, my arch nemesis. Barry Allen is the reinvention of a previous character called the Flash, who appeared in the 1940s comics as the character Jay Garrick. Because he is a speedster, his power consists mainly of superhuman speed. Various other effects are also attributed to his ability to control the speed of molecular vibrations, including his ability to vibrate at speed to pass through objects. The Flash wears a distinct red and gold costume, boobity boo 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 boobie boo boo bee. And they turn him into a woman in 2021. All right. I'm just trying to scan through it here so we could find out who he is. They're just going through the canon of the character. Fictional biography. All right. Barry Allen is a police scientist. Okay, that's a real job. His job was later changed to a forensic investigator with a reputation for being very slow and frequently late, which frustrates his fiancée, Iris West. Was she a redhead? Tell me she's a redhead. Come on. Oh, she's a redhead. Awesome. How'd I know? Because redheads are hot. One night as he's working late on a case, a lightning bolt strikes and shatters a case full of unspecified chemicals and drenches all over Barry, temporarily knocking him out. As a result, Allen later finds that he can run at superhuman speeds and possesses equally enhanced reflexes, senses, and healing. Don's red bodysuit, bolted chemist, Central University professor Ira West. He's dating a STEM girl. Design Alan's costume and the ring which stores it while Alan is civilian identity. Ring can eject a compressed clothing when Alan needs it. Warmly received. Barry's the kind of man that I would have hoped to become if my parents had not been murdered. Okay, so he majored in the right thing. Probably chemistry. And we gotta give him the grandfather clause because any degree was a good degree back in 1956. I guess he just keeps on working, doesn't he? I guess isn't that kind of always what they do? That's in part because you can't end the story, otherwise you can't sell more comic books. I don't know if he came from when Barry was a child. Oh, here we go. When Barry was a child, his mother was murdered, and Barry's father was unjustly blamed. It was actually reverse Flash. One night he's working a new case, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so he probably didn't come from wealth, especially if his, and whatever wealth may have been there would have been taken away because he ended up becoming an orphan because his father was likely thrown in jail. So he didn't come from wealth, didn't major in stupid stuff, worked as a detective. Then he's as the Flash, a vigilante. Eventually revealing, I'm just going through. They all read like soap operas because you always have to have something new going on. You guys do know that comic books are just soap operas. You can make fun of ladies watching, Dynasty, if that's even on, or The Young and the Restless, but this is the same thing. In the 30th century, Crisis on Infinite Earth, Anti-Monitor after the death. So how many times they kill him? Infinite Crisis. Yeah, so now we got all the alternate universes. The Rebirth. 2009. I'm just going. Yeah, I think he's probably got a perfect score. Yeah, probably a perfect score. If anybody else is a Flash expert, but just going and giving it the once over here. Would I like to have a beer with him? Hell yeah. Should he run for office? Absolutely. Now keep in mind my bias is colored by the Flash in Justice League, the cartoon. And he I won't lie, kind of reminds me of me. Like he just fails miserably chasing after the girls. And then everybody, and then when Lex Luthor doesn't kill him, but he goes to a different dimension, then everybody's like, oh, And then I think even Wonder Woman, she has a crush on the bats. She always likes the bats. But then Flash always like, hey, she'd always hit him or something like that. So using that as only one of the many characters that I'm sure have been painted of the Flash, I kind of like the Flash. He's honest. He's an honest scumbag. But yeah, so yeah, I should run for president. Love to have a beer with the Flash. And there you go. Okay, questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.